Howdy guys. So today I want to do something a little bit different. I am super sore, like unbelievably sore. Woke up this morning nice and early, probably got 4 hours of sleep, whatever it was. But with all the solar activity, the solar eclipse, they got the meteor in the day, all this crazy astrological bullshit going on. All of that impacts our bodies. So I want to go through a little bit of a morning stretching routine. This is what I do every morning. I just lay out a blanket on the floor. You don't need to get a yoga mat. You don't need to go anywhere. You don't need a gym subscription or whatever the fuck they're called, membership. All you have to do is just breathe and move your body into positions that you normally throughout the day don't put them in. All right, that's all you have to do. This stuff is so easy, and I guarantee you're gonna feel better. So let's get going. I'm also gonna keep the talking to a minimum, as I want this to be just a relaxing video. So to begin with, I always like to just sit down, kind of put my butt on my heels, and just reach back as far as possible. Just gonna open up your chest, right up in this region, as well as your thighs. You're gonna feel a nice little pull in your thighs. And then from here, put your elbows down, lay down completely, back flat. Just stretch it out. Stretch it out. All right. Now, throughout this whole process, focus on your breath. I want you guys to clear your minds out. Don't focus on the day. Don't focus on your problems. Just focus on sending that love, sending that energy to all of your muscles, wherever they may be. You're sending love to your muscles. You're stretching them out. You're giving them your energy. And you set an intention before you start that you're going to feel so much better after you're done. All right. So second position I like, after doing that full layback stretch, I like to focus on the glutes a little bit. So we're going to do a glute bridge. As you can probably see, the only thing touching is going to be my shoulder blades in the back. And then keep a straight line with your hips. Now, you can use this as a muscle building activity too. For the ladies out there, just bridge up, stick a foot out, hold it for 5 seconds. You're gonna feel an activation in the opposite side cheek, the other leg. And then just switch it real quick. Keep the glutes activated, keep the bridge activated. You're gonna feel a nice stretch. All right, now back down. Now from here, I like to focus on the groin, all right? I have had a couple groin injuries throughout my life. Mainly all of them came from football. A lot of the times as an offensive lineman, you do a lot of pulling motions. And for the guys out there that play football, you have your one leg set, let's say your right foot, and then you open up your waist, you open up your hips, because you're pulling to the other side. You're going behind the other lineman, pulling through a hole. So a lot of the times you put a lot of stress right here in your groin. So that's why I like the butterfly. And what you're gonna do, try and get your feet as sucked in to your groin as possible, as close, up into this region. All right, guys? Now grab your toes, and then with your elbows, you're gonna push down on your inner thighs. And you're gonna feel a nice stretch. Be careful with this one, you can overstretch. You'll be a little bit sore if you do that. But otherwise, this is probably one of the most important exercises to do every single day. It will give you a lot of benefits in every aspect of life, your mobility, your flexibility, your sexability, and there's probably a couple other words with abilities attached, but it's early in the morning and I've only had 1 cup of coffee, so we're not going to get too scientific on this one, guys. We're just breathing and stretching. All right, so that feels nice. You can even lean forward a little bit while you're doing this, and you're going to feel this radiate all the way through your inner thigh into your groin. It's a wonderful stretch. Okay, so after that, let's put these feet out. We're going to do touch your toes. Now, if you can't touch your toes, just try and go as far as possible down your legs, okay? But the main goal here is you want to keep your legs straight. You don't want these flaring up so you can touch your toes. No. Keep these straight. You're going to bend or extend your spine. So you're going to feel a nice stretch going all the way up your spine. So let's get into that position. And then even still, if you want to get more of a stretch, sometimes I like to wrap my hands underneath my ankles like this and try and stick my face in between my legs as far as humanly possible. Feels great in the morning. All right, now we covered a couple of those. We're gonna go into the downward doggy position. Isn't that right, Ajax? Downward dog? You don't seem too excited about this. All right, that's fine. I'm gonna face this way so you guys can see. You're gonna wanna have your hips sort of out like this. And the goal here is to put your chest completely flat on the ground while extending your hands forward. And yes, I would not recommend doing this in a gym. Do it in your house because it looks pretty questionable to most people, especially if you're a guy and you got a dumpster in the back. It is what it is. All right. So let's put that chest completely down. Flare your glutes up and feel the nice stretch right in your shoulder blades, your upper back, lower back, mid back, all that. Oh, yeah. And release. All right. And then from there, stick your legs completely straight back behind you. Stick your little buddy and your hips right into the ground. And you're gonna wanna force your spine up. Let's change that angle so you guys can see a little bit better. All right? You're gonna wanna push with your hands while keeping your hips tucked to the ground. So focus on your pelvis being flat to the ground, your legs flat. Walk your hands back and try and stick your spine straight upwards. You're extending, and it's really good. I mean, this is a great lower back stretch. Really opens you up a little bit. And then from there, you can even do a little twist. Be careful, guys, with these. I don't want anyone being injured. Don't overstretch if you've never stretched before. All right? Oh, yeah. And sometimes I just like to move in random directions and all that type of shit. All right. So that's sort of the basics. A lot of lower body stretches. Now, for the upper body, I mean, chest is chest. I mean, I don't know how You want to stretch that too much. It's hard to do because of where my camera is set up. But usually what I'll do is I'll go to a door frame, right? Grab the door frame with your hand. And I want you to try and force your body away while keeping your hand stuck on that door frame. It's really going to open up this entire pectoral, right? And get a nice stretch. So just focus on that, stretching this all out. Obviously do that on both sides. Now, one of my favorite for my traps, my neck, rear delts is what I like to call the chicken wing. So get yourself in a position like this if you can, where your hands, top of your hands, place them on your lats, right? Push forward, and now you can interlock your hands behind you, sort of like this, and try and raise them as much as possible. And then while you're doing that, push back mentally and physically. Focus on a weight or your hand pushing this back. And you might even feel a little pop up in this area. Don't worry about that. It's just cartilage. It's fine. It's like cracking your fingers. But it is, let me tell you, this opens everything up. If you start stretching your chest with large swath movements like this on a door frame, you start stretching your shoulders like this, you do the front stretch, the downward dog position shoulders, it's going to open up your entire chest. You're going to notice that you're able to breathe much easier, and it will also help fix your posture, because that's really what's important, guys. There's a lot of shit going on in the world. Sometimes we just need to stop, relax, and breathe. And it makes it a lot easier to breathe if you have a good stretching routine in place where you can just say, hey, you know what? I'm going to turn off my phone for, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Sit down on the ground, and I'm just going to play with my body. I'm just going to move it in different directions. This is a trunk rotation. So you can either do this from a crisscross applesauce position like this, right? Stretch, put your hand on your knee, other hand behind you, and just focus on keeping your legs in a stationary position while rotating your back. Oh, fuck, that's nice. Now, other side. Then, once you're sort of near the end, I would just recommend getting some airflow, some blood flow, all that. Just move yourself around. That's the whole point here, guys. We want to be flexible. We want to be mobile. We want to make sure that there's no cricks, weird little pops, all those sounds throughout the day. I remember when I was a little bit younger, because I'm not that fucking old, guys, believe it or not. And I would wake up all the time, and my body, muscle-wise, I used to be really muscular, like really muscular. And I thought that I looked the best that I ever looked. But in actuality, my body was falling to pieces. I was abusing all of my joints, all of my muscles. I was lifting way too much. I was eating foods that was inflaming me. So this is a really important time maybe to change some of those dietary habits, the stretching habits, and the weightlifting habits. Focus more on your flexibility. The muscle will come with, all right? But if your joints and your tendons are strong because you stretch them out, they're going to be able to support the muscle that you want to build. They're going to be able to support the lifestyle that you would like to live. Where injuries step in is when you focus entirely on building all the muscle without building the base. That's like building the second floor of a home without ever actually breaking ground. You don't excavate a basement. You don't put the concrete in. There's no footers. There's nothing. You're just fucking throwing more layers on top of quicksand and expecting to have a great result. Eventually, it will all fall apart. So focus on your flexibility. Focus on being flexy, guys. And I'm telling you, every part of your life just gets infinitely better. All right? So if you have any other questions, any specific muscle groups you guys want me to talk about or experiment with in my free time, and then I'll make a video on them, let me know. And let's go stretch today, boys.